Hey everyone, thank you for watching today's video. So today I am actually going to finish the rest of Luke chapter 22. I noticed that it had cut off. Um, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start from Luke chapter 22, and it's from 48. So I'm going to go ahead and finish because there's a big chunk that is missing from the first video. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest. So it says, but Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrays thou the Son of Man with a kiss? When they which were about him saw that would follow, they said unto him, Lord, shall we smite with the sword? And one of them smote the servant of the high priest, and cut off his right ear. And Jesus answered and said, Suffer ye this far. And he touched his ear and healed him. Then Jesus said unto the chief priests and the captains of the temple and the elders which were come to him, Be ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves. When I was daily with you in the temple, ye stretched forth no hands against me, but this is your hour, the power of darkness. Then took they him and led him and brought him into the high priest's house. And Peter followed afar off. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall and were set down together, Peter sat down among them. But a certain maid beheld him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him, and said, This man was also with him. And he denied him, saying, Woman, I know him not. And after a little while another saw him, and said, Thou art also of them. And Peter said, Man, I am not. And about the space of 1 hour after another confidently affirmed, saying, Of a truth, this fellow also was with him, for he is a Galilean. And Peter said, Man, I know not what thou says. And immediately, while he yet spoke, the rooster crew, and the Lord turned and looked upon Peter. And Peter remembered the word of the Lord, how he had said unto him, Before the rooster crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And Peter went out and wept bitterly. And the men that held Jesus mocked him and smote him. And when they had blindfolded him, they struck him on the face and asked him, saying, Prophesy, who is it that smote thee? And many other things blasphemous spoke they against him. And as soon as it was day, the elder of the chief, the elders of the people and the chief priests and the scribes came together and led him into their council, saying, Art thou the Christ? Tell us. And he said unto them, If I tell you, ye will not believe. And if I also ask you, ye will not answer me, nor let me go. Hereafter shall the Son of Man sit on the right hand of the power of God. Then said they all, Art thou then the Son of God? And he said unto them, Ye say that I am. And they said, What need we any further witness? For we ourselves have heard of our own mouths. Let me read it. And they said, What need we any further witness? For we ourselves have heard of his own mouth. That's the end of Luke chapter 22. And so I read from 48 to 71, and that was, guess I'll say this is part 2 because I noticed in the video I didn't record the entire thing. So that's the remaining. So some application from this. What is one thing that you can implement from the very verse? One that can stick out to me the most is how Peter just denied Jesus 3 times of knowing him. And so is that something that you are struggling with today, because we have believers and unbelievers who fully don't believe what Jesus is saying. We fully don't believe that Jesus did walk the very earth, and a lot of the people deny the Bible is the truth. And so um, that's something that you would have to ask God to help you and guide you and lead you. I remember doing just that. I believe, but the thing is I had not surrendered my life to Him, where now I hear Him. Now I have become an obedient child to Him because of what He has done in my life. And so now that I surrender, He had opened a lot of things to me. I feel like the only way you will surrender is you have to go to your lowest, lowest, lowest of lowest in your life to finally to surrender to Him. Because I remember the day when I surrendered before that, because I love and care about my family. I love my family. I longed for a beautiful family where, with my parents, my siblings, that we can all get along. So none of us are being distracted or addicted to drugs or alcohol, that we can now come together as a family and be together as a family. And that's what I longed for so long, that I tried to fix my family for a long time. Uh, God has opened up a lot of things to me, things that were going to happen um, before, and I would try to tell them, hey, you're gonna fall back into here, and they didn't listen. So I would continuously like tell them, do you not see what you're doing? Do you not hear what you're doing? So I would continue to do this, and when because I was doing that, I was leaning on my own strength and power, and that like boil just kept boiling, and I was trying to change my family because I wanted family. I wanted, for once in our life, that can we just be family for once? And so here I am. For the longest time, for a long time, our family struggled with being together. Yes, there was moments when we did get together. It was good for that moment, but a lot of it was when we we drugs and alcohol, like alcohol was a big thing. Abuse was happening at the time, and we suffered through that for so long. And so I'm just thinking, like, for once, can we just get along? So here we are. Here I am. I just want my family to come together. That's it. And I would have always reach out to God all the time at that moment. And in 2024 is when I surrendered my life. So I'm just thinking, like, at the time before I surrendered, like, I'm gonna do this on my own. I can do this. I can put my family together. I can find the resources that I can do all of this. But I couldn't, because I was struggling. I was the one, like, feeling rage, anger. Instead, I was destroying me. And so, and finally, I couldn't do it no more. I just could not do it in my own strength and will and power. And so finally, I gave it all up to God and said, here's my life, here's my heart, here, take it all, because I can't do it anymore. I'm trying to help my family. I want family. I want our family to be together. For once in my life, can we just, or the remaining years, can we finally get along? Can we finally be a family together where we're not talking back to each other or abusing one another or disrespecting and all these things? For once, can that happen? So I left it all up to God, and since then, things have changed for me. And so now, like, I give her, like, learning now to give everything to God and to have God in every situation, even when before I even talk to my mom or before I talk to somebody else, learning to implement God in that conversation. So, are you struggling yourself, believing the word, what Jesus is telling us? Um, just like in John, where it says the Word became flesh. And so, uh, do you believe this? Like, we can believe, even Satan believes Jesus exists. He has no doubt. The other part is when you are obedient to hearing what God has to say to us. And this is where Jesus is talking to Peter, and Peter is not listening. So at the same time, like do you hear God talking to you? He can speak. God can use other believers or unbelievers to speak to you, to nudge at you. You will know. You will know. There's so many ways that God can try to talk to you. There's so many ways, but He's talking to you, and it's up to you whether you're gonna answer Him calling you or not. And so, hopefully, that all makes sense. I was just trying to get to a point where, you know, uh, Peter was struggling and Peter was denying Jesus. He denied Jesus 3 times. So here we are. Are you struggling with that? Are you denying Jesus? That what he's telling us, do you believe what he's telling us? Yes. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next one.